Welcome back to Tink's Garage. We recently looked at engine painting for cafe racer projects, and today we're going to be looking at frame painting, and that is without removing the engine. Yes, stay tuned. So, of course, it's entirely possible, and especially if you're going to be painting the engine itself as well, matte black on these two examples, or matte black, semi-gloss, whatever, then of course it's really not a problem at all, because any overspray from either one or the other that you're painting doesn't matter, because it's all the same. So we'll be taking a quick look at that and how to get into the nooks and crannies, what to mask and what not to mask. And then we're going to be looking at something slightly more complicated. Yes, what if you had the crazy idea of painting the frame a different colour, like red? Well, we'll be looking at that too, and how to do it without moving the engine again. Alrighty, let's have a look at the easy one first. To mask it up for painting the frame. Yes, we're wrapping again. This time we're using bin liners, trash can liners, and packing and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So just getting the engine masked up. And we'll film all of it because it'll be boring and tedious. But I will be employing all kinds of masking materials. Well, it's kind of a time-lapse video. There, I've bagged myself a Honda. Yeah. Obviously the front and back wheel are going to need a little more dressing, but you know, this is all done, and use the same technique with the covers, and anything else can get sprayed black. That's fine, it's already black, so we're kind of ready-ish to do the frame. Exciting. Oh yes, and I left the bottom yoke because I want to paint that. Yeah. However much I tried to tidy it up without vapor blasting it, I don't think I was ever going to get those bits out. Anyway, it's nice and clean and smooth and will look good in black. So before I actually started the paint process, a little bit of prep on the frame with some engine degreasant to get rid of the worst of the grease. And then a light sanding with some fairly coarse, like 120 grit sandpaper, just to allow the paint to get a good key. And finally, some of this stuff, yeah, just a pre-paint cleanser. And an alternative to that is acetate. Acetate? No, that's a plastic film for overhead projectors. Acetone, that's what I meant. The younger amongst you won't even know what that is. But it's okay, because you're probably not watching, because this has already gone past 2 minutes, and that's beyond your attention span. I'm not doing myself any favours with the younger audience, am I? We love you, really. Stay tuned. You might learn something. Front end ready to go. I don't think that's too bad. All in all, not bad, and I like that bottom yoke in black. That's a good idea. Yeah. Obviously a little bit of plastic bags to get out when we put the gaskets in. Put the covers on for real. Yeah, I think that came out good. I like it. Nice. So yeah, really just a question of being able to get the right angles to cover as much as possible of the frame. Talking of which, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so this is a little bit more tricky. This was my Moto Guzzi 850T project, and I decided, foolishly or otherwise, to paint the frame red because I thought it would look good, and I think it does. Right? Anyway, obviously this involves an inordinate amount of masking and some tricky angles to get the paint in everywhere. Need to work out how we're going to spray this. I've bought some red paint, as you can see. I've also started to mock up what I think the bike's going to end up looking like, and as you can see, it's got a red frame. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but the best thing to do is to find the most difficult spot and try doing that bit, and then we'll take it from there, I think. And as I said before, I think that's going to be this bit here. Yeah, I think that's going to be the trickiest part to get to. So I'm going to prep the frame up before we do anything. Prep all of it, I guess, tedious though it is. So probably a wire brush, for which I now have some for a drill. And then finally some sandpaper, obviously, to smooth everything off to some degree. Although this engine enamel type paint is often quite forgiving in terms of rough surface, and obviously it doesn't have to be nice and shiny like a fuel tank. Before we go with the red, we've had a suggestion from one of the viewers. Yes, what about a yellow frame? Nah, sorry, don't like it. Silly tosser. No, I'm not being rude. That's his name. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the suggestion. Keep them coming. We are masked up, sanded down, dismantled, taken the entire gearshift mechanism off. Not looking forward to putting that back together again. And ready to do some painting. Not bad. So I think it's gonna work. We'll see when we unmask it all, but we're doing it in sections so that we can mask various bits off quite thoroughly rather than mask the whole bike up and try and do that. But as you can see, the overspray is minimal with this type of paint, so it's quite easy to do. Masking up the other side using my card trick. So this is so that the tape doesn't stick to anything I don't want it to, because we've got paper thin clearance there. And just get it in place and stick it down. Take the card off. That bit can stay. Repeat as necessary. Side 2 done. So you get the general idea. I shall carry on masking sections off and getting paint into impossible places. But I think that's starting to look pretty good. And the engine. Masking, did the front, doing the sides, the fuel tank. Getting there. Oh, what? I said I'd have it finished? Well, where's the fun in that? It's not coming along badly, I have to say, even in those hard-to-reach places. So, while I finish that off, you guys have got time to subscribe down here if you haven't already, and give the video a thumbs up. And maybe we'll get it finished off by the end of the episode. And just in case you're considering such lunacy yourself, just a tip, paint the frame first, then the engine. Then you won't have to mask the engine off each time. How many times have I got to do this before I work out what's best to do first? And anyway, as you can see, we are committed to finishing this. We have 2 extra cans. Probably more than enough. That's that sorted. 1 down, 2 to go. Tricky getting in these spots, but not impossible. That looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? Well, there it is, job done. So who had money against me being able to do it? Yeah, I think we've done it pretty well. I think that's going to look lovely. You'll notice I left the drive shaft as is, and on the other side, this strut here. I think I want to do that black. I don't really want to accentuate it, bring it out. And same with this. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I might wrap it. And also at the rear end, what I haven't done yet is chop these. I'm a little concerned. I think I'm going to follow the lines of the shock absorber and kind of chop them up at an angle. And at the same time, I'm a little concerned getting in there with any kind of angle grinder without chopping the tyre. And I don't really want to take the back wheel off because there's that drive shaft thing, and that looks really complicated. So I've bought myself just a metal saw, electric metal saw, and we'll do it with that. So this could be the shortest episode ever. Well, you didn't want to see hours of video of me painting things, did you? Oh yeah, there's that back in place as well with nice shiny new nuts and bolts. So there you go. All you need to know about how to not paint an engine frame properly. And by that I mean, if you can do it properly, you take everything off, take the frame to a powder coater and get them to do it. Sounds like a lot of work and very expensive. So, as always, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe down there. There's plenty more where this came from. And, of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.